You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 82, the featherweight champion of the world!
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the Dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that really should have written these jokes down so he doesn't repeat them in the future. My name is Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olsen.
I'm Raven Perez.
And we are back again with a new episode of the Savage FINcast, the only podcast where we talk about only Savage Dragon and Eric Larson and anything else that tickles our fancy. So really, it's like any podcast. But this one is a little bit more focused.
For new listeners, Savage Dragon's been going on for about 26 years now.
Only about.
And it was one of the original Image Comics that launched way back when Image Comics was created.
In case you don't know, Eric Larson is an artist who worked at DC and Marvel, founded Image Comics. Why do I feel like you probably already know this?
You never know. You never know. We got to cover the bases. I'm just saying, if you've never read one issue of Savage Dragon, get ready. You're going to hear some passionate motherfuckers, and we hope that you, through our passion, become interested in seeking this out on your own.
It's like what Eric Larson says. Every episode could be your first, someone's first.
True.
Amen.
Don't know how he found us, but it could be your first.
I like to imagine that they fell down in like a Wikipedia click link like hole, and then before, like just in a heady mix, they just suddenly are listening to a podcast. They don't know how the fuck, but it's us.
I always imagine every free comic book day, there's a bunch of Savage Dragons in like a dollar bin, and these guys are like, I've always heard about Savage Dragon.
Why does he look black now?
Issue 200. It's got to be good if it lasts that long.
I heard Savage Dragon was porn.
Half the new readers, that's why they're picking it up.
Right. Yeah. So, prepare to get disappointed. It's not, but it's so much more.
And it is a little bit.
A little bit, but what isn't? What isn't?
I haven't been titillated once.
Mother's Day wouldn't exist without a little bit of porn, so think about it. Think about it.
Yeah, I thought about it. I don't know if that works. The way you think it works.
It works.
You don't use porn to make babies.
Been working for all of human.
Speak for yourself.
Yep, been working for all of human history.
All right. Let's cool this one down.
News
indeed. Take us away. Wait. Oh yeah, I'm doing the first one. All right.
Take us away, myself.
Yeah, myself.
I'm going to throw this to me.
First bit of news. It was announced by Marvel Comics that in celebration of their as part of their celebration of their 80th anniversary, going all the way back to Marvel Comics number 1, they are going to be releasing Marvel Comics number 1000, which I believe is going to be an 80-page one-shot with a whole host of creative teams. And the idea is that each page will be by a different creator or creative team. So Eric Larson will be contributing one page to that. So every page is supposed to be like a one-and-done like story, like celebrating the history of the Marvel Universe, Marvel history. So we don't know what Eric is actually doing for it. We just know that he is included in it. This is part of his previously announced return to Marvel. I believe he said that he'd be drawing like 40 pages of content. Yeah. So this is one page.
Can't wait to drop $15 for his one page here.
I'm sure it'll be a $10 book.
I myself plan to rip it out just rip it out and take it.
The important thing is that 80 pages for $10 is a good value.
Yep.
And anyone who says
there's going to be a lot of cool.
Anyone who says it isn't can't do math.
Did it say 10? Did it release the price point?
I don't think it's been released. I think it's been suggested. If it's 15, that sounds a little high because that's almost trade paperback length.
Yeah, but isn't it like a 22-page comic $4 now? So.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Some trades are 80 pages is what's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like as low as 80 pages can still be considered a trade. Yeah. Because if you think if the 32 pages is an issue, then you're almost at 3 issues worth of content.
Yeah, like
80
a
pages.
4-issue, 20-page series would be about 80 pages. I think 92 is like however the printers work. I think you gotta have minimum
multiples of 4.
Multiples of 4. So.
Yep.
But anyway, I bet it won't cost $15. But
remember, like in the 80s and 90s, when you used to have like trades that were all thin like that.
Yeah,
you know, it was just weird. What do they call them? Like Baxter paper comics or something?
Yeah, Baxter paper was a thing. That was. I
don't know Baxter paper.
Baxter paper was like semi-gloss.
And it was like the square bound. It was like, oh, this one's something special, one shot, like weird comic. It always kind of weirded me out as a kid.
DC in particular, their New Teen Titans and Legion of Superheroes comics were quote unquote Baxter paper. Was like a selling point. They were direct sales. They were comic shop only. Your newsstand stuff was still newsprint, so that was the incentive to go to the comic shop.
Yeah, the real comic nerds got those like little one shots, you know. That before like trades were a big thing. Remember? Though it was always like kind of like the adultish ones.
Yeah, like
explain.
Gotta make this into like a book.
For the listeners, what do you mean there? You talking porn or
no? Like Watchmen was like that.
Yeah, okay. Back in the day. Now it's just normal.
Someone told me that Dark Knight Returns is mail order only.
What?
Apparently,
that seems wrong.
I feel like that's lies.
Yeah, that seems wrong. How could it ever be so popular if it was mail order only?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I'm going to call bullshit on that.
All right. So, other bit of news.
Marvel 1000 drops in stores in August.
Oh, true. Yes.
That's what we know. Yep. In August. We don't have a date, but hey, kids, August. The other item that we're talking about, moving right along, Johnny Raygun and Savage Dragon Kickstarter hits its goal. If you're a regular listener, you know that the very last episode we had Rich Woodall on here to talk about his original character Johnny Raygun doing a crossover that has long been in the works with Savage Dragon. The goal was $8,000 and the goal has been surpassed. However,
sweet.
At the time that you will be listening to this show, dear listener, there should still be a few more days remaining that you can contribute. I do want to state, if you are interested at all in this really sweet, long-awaited Savage Dragon crossover, please consider backing. For more info, you can listen to the previous Savage FINcast interview episode that we did. You can ride your fucking motorcycle on over there to Kickstarter, and you can search for Johnny Raygun, and it'll come right up, and you can contribute. And I did want to just throw in a real quick personal aside. It's fucking fantastic that it hit its goal. However, what nobody talks about with these Kickstarter things is that after they succeed, all that is a promise. 2 weeks later, they start charging everyone. And whether all the money goes through or not, the thing's still considered a success and it needs to deliver, and the money doesn't always go through. So, please continue to push, continue to spread the word, continue to support it, even though it's past its goal. Let's push it well past its goal so that if anything happens, Rich will be covered. And there's also all kinds of amazing stretch goals, original art. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get if you go and contribute. So again, please give it a shot. Give it a look. Give it a listen.
Absolutely. And I mean, if anyone listened to that last episode, you know, Rich put his kind of heart and soul into it, and it's been a while, and we really want to see it get printed. It's already done, so it's not like it's a risk. You know, if he hits, you know, he will hit his goal, so it will get printed. And it's a fun little comic.
I mean, I don't mean to be adversarial here, but if you don't contribute, you're fucking Rich. You're fucking him. Don't fuck Rich. He's a nice guy. Help him out.
I thought you were saying like you're fucking rich, like you're not poor.
Oh no, Rich Woodall.
Yeah, don't fuck Rich Woodall.
Don't fuck Rich. He's a good guy. Really, really nice. Good guy. So, at any rate, I think Mr. Olsen will kick us off with letters.
Yes, we actually managed to squeeze some letters out of some of you this episode.
Yeah, thanks for we
time
appreciate
in a long time.
Shh, come on, man. You're pulling the curtain back.
Gotta make him feel sorry.
We got a letter from Matthew, or either a letter or it was a comment on our Facebook page, which we kind of use through the Savage Dragon Eric Larson fan page. But Matthew Peter Murphy asked, now that Savage Dragon Johnny Raygun is being printed, are there any old Dragon crossovers you'd like to see reprinted? What characters would you like to see, and also what characters would you like to see Malcolm crossover with? So you guys want to take a crack at that at all?
Well, there's
Anyone
a
got
whole
a good
bunch.
one?
There's a whole bunch that haven't been reprinted, as far as I know. Like, pretty sure the Destroyer Duck one has never been reprinted.
Yeah.
That one's pretty fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
Parts of Megaton Man crossover have been reprinted as part of the Baptism of Fire collection, but not the entire thing.
Oh, that's a shame. That's awesome.
I thought that Gary Carlson was talking about doing like a phone book type Megaton reprint kind of.
Man, I would read that.
Yeah, and we should get him on the show and ask him about that. But I know it was even like around last year. I feel like he was talking about that. So hopefully that does see the light of day.
Now, also the martial law Savage Dragon crossover has never been reprinted, despite the fact that there is a big chunky martial law reprint.
Chunky.
Yeah, the DC put out. I suppose it was because DC put it out that it didn't get reprinted, but it is an odd omission. Even though it's not, I didn't like it very much, but it is, it's Kevin O'Neill art. You can't really go wrong.
I was gonna say, even if you don't like the story, that's fucking Kevin O'Neill.
Pat Mills does not understand how Mighty Man works.
Hot take.
I forgot what happened. Why?
Because Ann Stevens gets murdered.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Dragon treats it like he doesn't give a shit about Ann. He thinks that they can get Mighty Man back somehow. So he completely writes Ann off and just thinks about getting Mighty Man back as like an asset. It's a very strange scene.
Awesome.
I've got to reread that. It's been a while.
I'm not a big fan of Pat Mills. I mean, he's prolific and all, but he's a particular type of writer.
That's funny since you're the British comics guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that I've read a lot of Pat Mills comics.
Okay.
He's not Alan Moore. I'll put it that way.
Who is?
I am. I just haven't read. I just keep it all to myself. I sit at home and I write books.
You lack
for my own entertainment, but I'll tell you, I'm about the equivalent of an Alan Moore.
You lack his sweet beard game. I know that.
You haven't seen me in a while.
Oh shit!
What, the old man of the mountain now? Gentle Ben?
Haggard, Junior Haggard.
Maybe you'll find out this summer.
Coming this summer.
The Savage FINcast.
So, new crossovers with Malcolm. Now, I could go to my old standby, Judge Dredd, but I don't think Judge Dredd and Malcolm are a good mashup.
Freshen it up, Purcell. Lay down a new one.
Oh, you know what? No, I was going to say Kevin Matchstick, but you know what? That's still more of a dragon kind of crossover character. It's tough. I don't have one off the top of my head. Maybe like Miles Morales.
Ugh.
You know what I wish we saw, and it's not Malcolm, it's regular Dragon, and you guys are going to go, ugh, I know you are. But I think it would be funny as hell, because we kind of saw it with Sergeant Marvel, but to see a Savage Dragon Batman crossover where Savage Dragon's just kind of an asshole, and it would kind of make sense because he'd be a cop. He would be a cop, and, Batman would be a detective. And the whole series, Batman, Dragon would just be doing his wisecracks and shit like that. And I know you guys fucking hate that, but
they already made Batman Judge Dredd.
So you don't think the Dragon component could add anything to that?
Oh, I'm sure there's a complete difference. I mean, Dragon's a jackass. At least Dredd's just an asshole.
And Batman's just a serious motherfucker that has no sense of
humor.
Should be
smiling 50s awesome. Batman.
Now that I will read. If you Google original Batman, Google the words original Batman, it brings up Adam West.
Batusi.
Does not bring up the fucking Gil Kane, fucking whatever Bob Kane like Batman, it brings up fucking Adam West.
Yeah, not Gil Kane. That's someone else.
I was testing you and you passed. Good job. Congratulations. All right. I did that intentionally to make you feel smart. So,
but in terms of Malcolm, though, it's too bad because I think Eric talked about trying to do it, but crossing over the Turtles again because of the long history of the Savage Dragon comic with the Ninja Turtles comic, I thought that would be fun, especially with like the reprints of the Turtles comic coming out now. Mm-hmm. It would be pretty cool to have seen Malcolm do a one shot, or at least have the Turtles guest appear in Savage Dragon, but I guess it's not to be.
Maybe meet Invincible's kids.
See, that's the direction I want to take mine. In my mind, Malcolm's fresh and new. Even though this book's old, Malcolm's fresh and new. I don't want fucking Malcolm crossing over with the Turtles. Dragon did that. What I want...
That's true, too, because that would be weird, because then the Turtles wouldn't be teenagers, would they?
Right,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, they're middle-aged now.
Well,
they're feeling their age.
Middle-aged mutant Ninja Turtles.
Pass the ibuprofen. Turtle power.
So I was thinking it would make more sense for Malcolm to cross over with a legacy character of some kind. The trouble is, I'm trying to think of a high-profile legacy character that's not Marvel and DC.
I want Malcolm to cross over with someone fresh, like Detective Chew, or Murder Falcon, or any of these cool new Image comics. It doesn't have to be fucking old-ass Ninja Turtles. It doesn't have to be, do you know how fucking dope a Murder Falcon, Malcolm Dragon crossover would be?
It'd be pretty dope.
As cool as the Amazing Joy Buzzards?
Probably better. I never read that, and I read Murder Falcon.
You read it. It was an issue of Savage Dragon.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen.
But the one-shots are awesome.
Murder Falcon, way better. Check it out. So here's my plot. I even got it. As I was reading Murder Falcon, I thought about it. So Murder Falcon is powered by metal, right?
Yes.
So,
by heavy metal?
Yes. Yeah. Metal powers
it. Similar to me.
Like lead and boron.
Just like you, Craig. Just like you. You know how you had no beard before the metal started playing, and now you're all beard?
Yes.
Kind of like a Cousin It character. Yep, that's it. So basically, Murder Falcon and Malcolm are fighting giant monsters and giant demonoids, right? Like they've paired up, they're working together. And fucking Murder Falcon himself gets knocked the fuck out or whatever. He's like, oh no. But he I don't know, use some kind of mystical metal rock talisman, throws it around Malcolm's neck, and the fucking band powers Malcolm with heavy metal to give him the extra juice to get out there and beat some giant monster ass. Just something like that.
I'm going to one-up you on that.
Go for it. I want it.
Malcolm sees Murder Falcon, mistakes him for Powerhouse.
Ooh, that's good.
Fucks him up, and then realizes it's not.
That's
and I
good.
have nothing else. That's all I have.
That's good as shit, dude. That is actually...
This conversation makes me sad because Murder Falcon ended.
It hasn't ended yet.
Oh,
in my
it's not
heart.
out yet?
It's out, but I haven't read it, so it's still going.
What's the name of the artist of Murder Falcon?
He's
I got it right here. We don't have to wonder. It is Daniel... You like that thinking noise? Daniel Warren. Exactly. It's Daniel Warren Johnson. Both the artist and creator and writer.
Also creator of one of my favorite series, Extremity.
Yeah, Jim, we talked about that. I like that book too.
Oh, good.
Rumble.
I'm glad you are. I don't think you did Rumble.
No.
All right. What the fuck ever, guys.
Rumble is good too.
Rumble would be a good
that artist is amazing.
Yeah, Malcolm over with Rumble.
Yeah, that's that Scarecrow guy.
I'm just saying. So follow this path, if you will. I think this is way more exciting any day of the week. What new IP do you want to see Malcolm? Obviously, it'd be cool if Malcolm met Superman or fucking Batman or whatever else. But what fresh new character do you want him to hook up with?
Not so much a character, but if Jeff Lemire used Malcolm through his Black Hammer lens. I don't know if either of you guys
explain that for the listeners and me.
How do I? Black Hammer is kind of an examination of superheroes as a meta concept with reality revisions and stuff. It's kind of like Supreme in some ways.
Okay.
Because the general gist is there was a group of superheroes They basically fought a dark side type villain, and the only way to save the world was to remove all of them from reality. And so they went to live on a farm, like in a pocket dimension.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Pocket dimension.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
Getting real comic book bullshit trademark.
Yeah, it wins awards.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
One of the best new comics of the last few years.
I'm joking.
It's doing a crossover with the JLA soon, so it's starting to expand out into other like crossover areas, and I think it could handle Savage Dragon.
Sweet. I mean, that sounds awesome. Actually, I was joking.
I don't know if I described it very well.
No, you did a good enough job. That sounds cool. As long as anything hero-y is going to play well. I just think, like, fresh is good. Fresh is a good way to take it.
Black Hammer is fresh. It's one of the biggest new IPs of the last, 3 years.
Fucking A. Cross Malcolm over with that shit.
I'm trying to think what else. See, that's the problem. There isn't enough traditional superhero that's new right now.
That's what I'm struggling with, new superhero comics.
When you're scraping the barrel for, like, Murder Falcon and Rumble, for anything remotely tonally similar.
Well, okay, I got this. Here's a different take on this question. And I know we're spending a lot of time on this question, dear listeners, but it's only because we find it interesting. Plus, we got some real thin questions after this one. They'll fly by. So I promise you it balances out. Dear listener, I promise you. However, I'm just saying that if you were to... I lost my train of thought. Bad, bros.
Can I just say one thing, though?
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy in an age where, Avengers Endgame makes billions of dollars that there's not much new superhero comic blood in the game?
It's not, and I'll tell you why.
Here we go.
Nope, it's real easy. It's real short. I'll keep it short and concise. Avengers is the reason there's not new comic IP for heroes. People don't want to read. People don't want to read all that new shit. They want Batman.
It's bullshit.
Sorry,
I think he's right. Right now, to a lot of people, the Avengers is new.
Yeah, bingo.
The Avengers is the new hot thing. They don't have the history context for them. Getting into Avengers by itself is enough to satisfy them. They don't need anything new yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. By the way, my train of thought, real quick, I won't say a big thing, but Malcolm and Maxine do a ton of slice of life stuff, if you actually think about it.
Yep.
So Malcolm and Maxine, you could do more slice of life stuff than you could with, say, regular Dragon. So in that way, you could have him have a crossover with a more, less actiony thing, like, say, Snot Girl or something like that.
Archie.
I mean, it would work.
Archie versus Punisher.
I mean, it would work. A Riverdale style scenario where, Jughead's, getting hit on by Maxine or some shit like that. I don't know. You figure it out, but nah, dude. I think, something like that could work. Exorcisters, the Image prints. I read that. That was fucking great. That's a brand new thing that works. That would work great with Malcolm. Demons. Again, demons from hell. They literally fight demons from hell, so... all that shit would work really good.
All right. So, what else we got?
Rob Messick. By the way, thank you, Matthew Peter Murphy. Thank you very much. We got
That's a great name, guys. Matthew Peter Murphy.
I think so.
You got, isn't that 3 first names?
I mean, I think
Maybe
Rob...
Murphy's not. I don't know.
I like Rob Messick better.
Yeah?
No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. We're not going to rate your names, guys. Rob Messick says, I would love to see Hilary Barta's Dragon story that was going to be in Stupid number 2. Does anyone know if he finished it? So, this is a little bit of a research question, and we did try to research it as much as we could.
We Googled it.
We did a little more than that. We did a little more than that. I banged some drum. I pulled some strings, but just nothing happened. The answer that we could find was no. According to what we found, we looked at his Patreon, we looked at his Facebook, we looked at Google, we tried to find anything sales info through Amazon, anything that we could. Apparently, no. There's no real trace or info or even inkling or drop or drip that he is doing.
He did one issue and he was out.
Right. So this is what I discovered is that Stupid was a comic that came out in 1993. It was published by Image. I believe.
I remember when it came out. It was great.
So Stupid number 1 came out, and then they
Yep.
solicited a Stupid number 2 that never materialized. So
Bingo.
I guess there was supposed to be a dragon story in that, because I think number 1 had a Spawn story.
Yes, if you remember Violator and Spawn drawn in a very cartoony style, and they were on the cover, and Violator had the heart-shaped box, and Spawn's like, you shouldn't have, because Violator had recently ripped Spawn's heart out. So that's what the gag was there. Yep, you probably have seen Stupid number 1. Stupid number 2 doesn't exist. We couldn't find any trace of it. We looked anywhere, no trace. So far as we know, the answer is no. But Hillary Barta does have an active Patreon. It's currently going.
So,
if you were on that,
daring enough,
yeah,
brave enough,
if you suggested to him that you would like to see some stuff like that, I bet he would do it. I bet. So,
or at least answer your
something
questions.
Something to think about.
Comic Book Creator Magazine number 17, released about a year ago, features the cover art for the never published Stupid number 2, is what I'm seeing now.
That's an interesting piece of news. What does the cover show? Does it show the cover?
No, I don't know. You have to buy Comic Book Creator 17 from Tomorrow's.
Oh, that's actually interesting. 17?
Yes.
Because I buy Tomorrow's magazine sometimes. What was the issue called?
What are you
Is
talking
it-
about?
you
What,
said-
what-
What issue? Is it back issue?
You went,
No.
What's the magazine?
Comic Book Creator.
Comic book creator? Oh, here it is. Yeah.
And if you go to Tomorrow's, you can see a free preview of it.
You said 16?
Nope.
What did you say?
17.
I
17.
said 17.
All right. Hold on. Getting there.
Yep.
You can see the free preview, but I don't see the cover in there, so you probably have to buy the issue, and don't be a cheapskate, listeners.
Dear listeners, please don't fuck Rich. Don't fuck Rich, listeners.
I like how Jim is quiet right now because he's going through.
Yeah, this is riveting podcasting.
I know, dude.
All right.
This is what people tune in for.
I can buy a digital copy for $5. I may do that just to sate my curiosity. All right.
When you say yours, please say ours too. I would like to know.
No, you have to pay $4.
Son of a biscuit eater. All right.
All right, so we got one more, just real quick question coming
Two
in
more.
from. Two more.
There's a D I'll take care of.
Okay.
You see.
Matt Hickman wrote to us.
Matt Hick.
Matt Hickman wrote asking the old dragon cartoon, threat or menace? And I have to say, it is definitely a menace because it is not available, and it's frustrating to all because it's not available to watch.
I've never watched it, so I'm going to say simply I'll downgrade that to yellow.
I've seen it, and it's goofy as all fuck. But it's great because it's a cartoon, and I would have ate it up as a kid.
Let's trip the light fantastic.
All right.
The best thing about that comic is the intro. The cartoon is the intro,
Makes sense.
which you could probably see on YouTube. But then you'd be stealing.
We stole the best parts of it. It's fine.
It's fine. They heard it at the beginning of this very podcast.
Yeah.
Blasting right along. We're going to speed it up. Get this last one taken care of. Thank you very much, Rick Meese, for sending us a fantastic piece of...
the weekly top 40.
We got Rick Meese.
Oh, that's Rick D's, sorry.
Rick D's. Oh my God, dude. I haven't thought about that shit in years.
Yeah, what do you think about these nuts?
Ooh, I had it coming. Really, I did. I asked for it. Rick Meese, guys, he wrote us a really lovely, awesome letter. Rick, I'm sorry. We got kind of a jam-packed show, so we got to, trunicate it a good bit. I'm going to cut right
Did
to
you
the
just
meat.
say trunicate?
You like that?
What's
Yeah,
that, Tronicate?
pretty good.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I'm real good at words and stuff. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I can word the shit out of a sentence. I words them up like crazy. So
I'm good at words and stuff.
no, I said I words them up.
No, I'm saying I'm good at words and stuff. Don't put words in my mouth.
I don't believe you, D's nuts. But real quick, Rick says, the meat and potatoes basically, he says, have you been checking out Ed Piskor's X-Men Grand Design books? I'm in love with them, eagerly anticipating the final 2 books in the next month or so. I imagine Raven, being a Pittsburgh resident, has run into him at least once before. I haven't, but finally, after years of living here, met Tom Sholey in Erie. Go figure. He lives here. I met him in Erie. What the fuck ever. But at any rate, I've seen that he's had signings at the Phantom of the Attic shop in Oakland. Back in my short time living in the Pit, that was my comic shop. I remember walking in for the first time in early 2001, seeing a Kirby head sketch of Reed Richards, instantly knowing I was in the right place. I've attached a pic of frame dragon head sketch by the awesome Roland Paris. I know the Finn's not right, but it was a quickie, along with the old Phantom of the Attic's Kirby bucks. I think Eric would approve of that style of greenback. Thank you, guys. I rambled on along. We trunicated it. It's all good. You're very concise. We chopped it down, so feel free to use as much or as little as you deem worthy. We did, and thank you for putting on such an enjoyable podcast for the single greatest ongoing comic book of all time, Finn Addict for Life, Rick Meese. My thoughts on that real quick. Thank you, Rick, for writing. We will try to get the image that he sent in for you guys to check out Roland's Savage Dragon and that Phantom of the Attic Kirby buck so that you could see them
Was
both.
there like music in the background right there? Did I just hear that?
A passing train. So, yep, there you go.
I thought we were actually like becoming a good podcast that could like put music into things and stuff.
We
like
could.
That.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's a cool picture. I think it has a good look. Phantom of the Attic, never shopped there. My home store is New Dimension. But
Wait. You live in Pittsburgh. You've never been to like all of the comic shops in Pittsburgh?
I went to Eads, which is the one that you didn't get to go to. Sucker. And I've been to many New Dimension locations. But nah, Phantom of the Attic somehow, it's in Oakland, and Oakland I don't have to go to unless, weird thing about Pittsburgh, it's bust up in all these little boroughs, and like people don't get out of the boroughs that they don't need to go to. So like I'd never go to Oakland. I've fucking been there twice in 6 years. So yeah.
I gotta get back to Pittsburgh. That's a freaking great city you live in.
Yeah, bro.
Have you ever heard that phrase before? I gotta get back to Pittsburgh.
You know, everybody like poops on Pittsburgh. Like, I guess partly because Philadelphia people and Pittsburgh people don't like each other because of sports and stuff. but everyone's kind of like, you know, when I was like, oh, I'm going to Pittsburgh. Like, why are you going to Pittsburgh? And it's like, it's a freaking great city. Jim, if you haven't been there, you'd love it. It's good.
I've never.
It's walkable. Been. It's a nice city. It's pretty clean.
Smells bad.
You don't need to sell me on it.
Smells bad, but it's pretty dope.
Why do you think it smells? I didn't notice it smelling bad.
Yeah,
but then again, I live in Philly, so
if you live here,
Town
it smells bad.
right?
It's no longer really.
Nah, none of that stuff. It just stinks like sewage.
Steel is not coal.
Yeah, coal, or I mean steel. Yeah, it's a steel city. I don't know, it stinks. I don't know why. Anyway, no one listening gives a shit about that. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Greg, I believe you got a special treat. Wait, hold up. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Matt, Rob, Matthew, Rick. Thank you all for writing. Listeners, please, if you have more letters, Jim, tell them what they can do.
Oh, yes. You can always email us at savagefincast@gmail.com. You leave a comment on our website, savagefincast.com, on the episode in question you want to talk about. Sometimes we're on Facebook, usually in the Savage Dragon fan page or the Eric Larson / Savage Dragon fan page. You know, you can comment there as well.
Yep.
Please.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we need to fill the time. We need something.
No,
please participate. Make us feel loved.
Now you're begging, dude.
No, you haven't even seen me start begging yet.
All right, you guys want to get into this top 10 list I
do it.
Threw together with some scotch tape and super glue?
For some insider baseball, dear listeners, our expectations are sky high.
Yep. You got to do better than me.
Craig worked on this for 40 minutes.
All right. top 10 Savage Dragon backups in continuity. So, it has to be in continuity. Doesn't matter who did it, where it was. It's got to be a backup in the regular issues. And here we go. Number 10. Issue 208. Brute Force. So that was our good buddy Mark Welser, but also Gavin Higginbotham wrote it. And it was a return to the pages of Savage Dragon, the team that we all know and love, Brute Force.
Everyone loves Bubble Boy.
Everybody loves Bubble Boy. Great little backup. Mark is amazing at capturing the artistic style of Larson. You know, there's just some guys that just know how to do it, and Mark really, you know, that I chose that backup because it just makes me want more to see more from him in Savage Dragon. Mm-hmm. There's just certain artists that do backups in Dragon that, you know, it's always a joy to see. So I would love to see him do a few more, and I'm actively lobbying for that. But we also saw Bulkhead, which is kind of a cool little character who showed up, I think, in the second volume of Freak Force, but he was also in the cartoon, and I think he started in the cartoon first, so one of the few characters that started off in the Savage Dragon cartoon. So I love that Mark and Gavin chose to use him.
Was he the one that talked like this? That was him, right?
I don't know. Isn't that like all of like the big muscle guys talk like that?
I think it was.
I think that was Barbaric.
Okay.
No. Number 9, because he's my boy and I have to, issue 225, Angel Murphy and Throwdown by Raven Perez. Ooh. Mostly because we got to see titties for the first time in a backup, but no. I just thought you did a killer job. It was pretty awesome to see our boy in the pages of Savage Dragon, and you just knocked it out of the park. So,
Thank
225, you. Angel Murphy Throwdown is number 9.
Thank you.
Number 8, issue 123, Chicken, the Powerhouse Origin. Now, I felt like this was a long time coming. I mean, I don't know, some of you guys out there might have not, you know, read Savage Dragon that far back, but back then we didn't know who Powerhouse was. And to finally get that little tidbit of, oh, it's this little fucking guy, Denny, was kind of a surprise. And to see that Powerhouse was the sun god Ra, like, I don't know if he was like, what is he, like the son or something like that, or a relative?
Son. Yep, descendant.
Yeah, descendant, yeah, that was pretty cool. And that was a Frank Fosco masterpiece as well. Number 7, issue 196, Neutron Bob by Scott James, which was a great little ditty. And that my favorite thing about Neutron Bob's character is that his mom exists in the universe, and his mom is freaking blue just like him, and she kicks ass, and she's like just there to protect her son. Just freaking cool. I don't know. It's just like, it's a cool thing you don't really see much in comics or anything like that. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just a fun little ditty. And that one, we kind of think, you look at the back cover and it shows like her, I think, was it her bloody hand or something? And Neutron Bob's like, no, you know, and you think that his mom's gonna get it, and really she just took out a bunch of vicious circle guys and her hands were bloody because of it. Issue number 6, issue 190, which is one of my all-time faves, but there's just so many good backups that it was hard to put this list together. But 190 is the Monster Squad backup with Powerhouse and Fever and what's his Flash Mercury. Man, that is such a kick-ass backup. I mean, that had everything I wanted. I remember we talked about that, and we were like, man, we hope this lasts forever. You know, like, how cool. If this was 96 again, it would have been awesome to see, like, a spin-off comic. Basically, you know, and that ties in with this issue that we're talking about now. You know, we're going to be talking about in this episode. But, you know, the 3 of those guys basically just hunting down monsters for bounty, which was pretty freaking cool. And more awesome Frank Fosco art, who really channeled Jack Kirby when, like, Fever bites that guy and he hallucinates.
And I remember at the time, like, the cool thing about that, just to add, I don't want to derail your list.
No, I want you guys to add in anything you want to add.
But I just want to say the cool thing is that, like, with Savage Dragon backups, like, you don't always know what's continuity or not. Like, until later on you find out it was sometimes. And when that first happened, we were like, oh, man, it's so cool. Oh, I really hope that's, like, we see more and that continues. And the cool thing about it is that it did. Like, it was totally what happened.
Yeah, they did another backup in 210. And then, of course, we've got 240, the story now that we're going to be talking about in 244. So
Yep.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So number 5, halfway there, I got to go with issue 115, which had the giant Freak Force backup, and backup's kind of a weird word for it because it was like half the issue. 115 was like a double-size issue. It was like 2 comics in one. Mm-hmm. And that's the one where, like, Freak Force comes back in the Savage world and they're not the same characters, and, like, Rapture's all fat, and, Mighty Man's kind of evil, and, it was a crazy thing. Augie DeBleek shows up to bring the team together, and it just does not go right. And that's got incredible art by Mark Englert. Which was great. I actually own a few of the pages from that series, and it's fucking amazing to look at.
Mark's another one of those guys that can really nail that Larson style.
Yeah, and actually in that issue, he went with a different style. If you look at 115 and you look at that issue, he changed it up a little bit, and he carried that change up in his style to the God War series, if you guys remember that.
Sweet.
So it's definitely a little different than his Mighty Man serial that he did. But going on to number 4 on my list, issue 175, Harold and Linda. Do you guys remember that one?
Harold and Linda.
Do you remember?
Was that the one where he blows the world up?
Nope.
Oh, shit, Jim.
No, it was a reprint. Jim, you got to guess.
Hold on. Which one was it?
Harold and
Issue
Linda.
175, Harold and Linda. It was a reprint from it appearing somewhere else.
But it's in continuity. That's the hint.
Yeah.
175, which would have been Dragon in Space.
We can hear you Googling, by the way.
I'm not Googling. That's my brain smoking and overheating.
All right, I'll tell you because I don't think you'll get it.
No. It's it says a reprint from somewhere else.
Yes.
All right, I give up.
So it's a reprint from McSweeney's. Did you guys get the
the
McSweeney's
McSweeney
giant
reprint, yeah.
newspaper?
Absolutely not.
Awesome. I have that. It's great. It's like, so McSweeney's is a magazine that comes out, and it always comes out in a different format every issue. And so they chose a Sunday's Funny format, so it's a full, like, newspaper size thing. And Larson contributed a story, and it's Harold and Linda. Harold is actually Braino's name. So Braino's a vicious circle guy with, like, the water, like, he's got the brain floating.
Yeah.
This
was good.
And Linda is his, like, girlfriend or whatever, and he's having like a discussion with her throughout, and you're getting to know Braino because you've seen Braino for, here and there for 200 issues or whatever, 175 issues, and you never knew anything about him. So you get a little bit of background, and by the end of it, though, a piece of debris flies through and just goes right through his brain and kills him. But it was pretty funny. The cool thing, so it was reprinted in 175, but if you... The McSweeney's issue where it's a full newspaper, the whole comic fills it up, and there's this huge splash with a foreshortening of, like, Savage Dragon, like, punching or something, and it's, like, on a full newspaper. It's pretty amazing. But it was cool that Eric actually reprinted it for 175 in a normal format. So anyway, all
how
you
much
heads
did that,
out there.
How much did that run you?
I don't know. It wasn't that much. I want to say, like, I don't know, not more than like $15 or something.
Oh, jeez. I'm getting in that, like, where I've got everything, I'm all caught up. I'm getting in that territory where I, like, just want to snap up little whatevers. That sounds great, dude.
Tell me the little whatevers you grabbed.
No,
not
all
you.
right, so...
Never mind.
What did you say?
Raven, he got some little whatevers today.
I did get some little whatevers. I just don't want to bust that out into the top 10, but I did get Savage Dragon Bert, Full Frontal Nerdity, and I also picked up Wizard Half Savage Dragon.
Yeah, I looked that up. I think it was in 125 that it was reprinted, or 150.
Was that one of your backups?
No.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't that good. It was all right.
As you were.
All right.
Number 4.
Number 3.
Yeah.
That was 4. Number 3, when Titans clash. I was going to say when Clayton's tash. This one was like at the top of my list forever. I don't know if you remember this one, but this was Zeke at the Rock House Diner.
Yep.
And it was basically Eric's Hulk versus thing. So it was Rock versus Zeke. Drawn by Frank Fosco. Amazing backup. Basically, Zeke's kind of like the dumb Hulk guy, and he's eating at the Rock House Diner, and he just walks out without paying because he's just dumb and he doesn't realize it. And Rock's basically like, hell no. Like, Vicious Circle, he mistakes Zeke for a Vicious Circle guy, and he's like, no, you're not going to do this to me. I'm going to make you pay. And so they end up having a big brawl, and then I think Widow comes out and is like, oh, Zeke's just basically a giant child. And, he ends up washing dishes at the end. But great backup. The art is superb. The fight scene's awesome. The characterization's awesome. So, this leads us to the last two, which I'm going to combine. It's almost like a 2-in-1. And I think you guys probably know what I'm going to pick.
Hold on, Jim, do you? I don't.
Do what?
Know the backup.
To what?
A 2-in-1.
So my last two are basically kind of a 2-in-1 thing.
Okay.
I have no idea. Like, what the hell could it be?
Oh, it's probably,
Uh-oh, here it comes.
is it the Mighty Man?
No.
Okay.
All right, lay it on us.
All right. I got to go with the Vanguard serials, the two that
Yeah.
Fosco did.
Oh,
So
both.
number 2 would be the 197 to 202 serial, where kind of Vanguard went back to his home world and the Krylons were all kind of destroyed there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but I got to pick. Before that was the original serial, and I just screwed up on my notes, but it was around like I think 172 to 184, which was the beginning of the Tyranian invasion on Earth, and they kind of it was like going on at the same time where Vanguard's whole job was to prevent the Tyranian invasion of Earth. Right. So he was up in his satellite, and there was so many cool things about it. Like, you got to see Ethrian, Modem, and Amok, Vanguard's sister, a lot of like characters that were in the original Vanguard serial, comic. Dragon made an appearance, Roxanne, the Power Glove, the amount of covers we got from Fosco that were freaking amazing. I think this is the one time that I was really just as excited to read the serial as I was to read the main story of Savage Dragon, and even at times, some issues, I thought the backup was even better than what was happening on the main issue. So I got to go with those. The Vanguard by Frank Fosco. And was it Gary? Did Gary write them too? Gary Carlson?
I think so, because I remember the writing on that one was the one where they go to the planet and find all the Krellians dead was especially good. Just like you're talking about, like, when you do writing for comics, you really want the writing, if you're going to have narration boxes, to enhance and augment the art. So, Frank did a really good job of drawing all this empty, like, spaceship. But then, like, Gary's writing just really set the mood where it's like, empty chambers, echoes to the cavernous, and it just really helped sell, like, this.
Well, that, and for longtime fans, there was just a lot of fan service, like bringing back characters we hadn't seen in years. The art, just the inks on this with like the dark space kind of issues. The darks were awesome. Like the real heavy inking was amazing. It was just fun. It was good. And, I remember being like, man, I want to see more of this Vanguard kind of Guardians of the Galaxy team when they were like the end of the first serial, when they were like heading to space to go back to Calyptus. Mm-hmm. And it's like Vanguard and Roxanne and Amok and Modem and the other member of was it Baracus or whatever, the other Calypton guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like, man, this is a cool team. I would pay to read some more adventures of these guys. So that definitely steals it. I'm looking through this list. I see a lot of it is Fosco, and I really enjoy it and glad that he steps up and helps Eric out with these.
Yeah.
But a lot of other cool guys. It's a lot of our community guys, you know, like Scott James and Mark Welser and you, Raven. And,
Thank you.
you know, it's just, that's what makes this comic fun. You know, there's a lot of fans that are also contributing to the book. Real quick, two things. Honorable mention. I got to go with the Mighty Man serial from 109 to 118, which was Mark Englert, which is also awesome, and they made that into a one shot. I wish they would do the same with the Vanguard, but I can understand. I guess, you know, times are tough these days in the market. And then my second honorable mention is Chris Burnham, the issue 200 with Angel and Glum.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he's such a top-notch artist, to get someone of his caliber to do a backup is pretty amazing.
And he volunteered, if you recall, just came and said, hey, I want to do a backup.
Right. So sorry, this is not as fun a list as Jim's was last episode, but I definitely wanted to do my favorite backups. Your mileage may vary. You may disagree. There may be ones that I totally skipped over that should be on this list.
Yeah, you did the Mighty Man backup not rank? Remember that like 10 or 12 part series it ran?
Raven, what do you think?
Was it an honorable mention? Didn't you just
Yeah,
I was going to say, you just gave it an honorable mention,
I guess
right?
I blanked on it. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, are you fucking with me? You just said that, right?
Yeah. No, I just gave an honorable mention. It was hard because I had to limit it to 10. I had about 15 on my list, and I had to pare it down.
I don't think you ranked any of the issue 100 backups either.
No, I didn't. Again, I had to just figure it out, and these are the ones I went with. I looked at them, and I still thought these were stronger.
Top 10
I think
lists.
with the 100, I don't know. I felt maybe because Larson wrote most of them, maybe I wanted to go the other direction. I don't know.
Jim's top one backup, The Fly.
I had that in my list, and I cut it.
I'm surprised.
I thought it was a fun backup, but I it was a cool experiment, but for my backups, I just kind of more, I don't know. It was a little too experimenty for me.
Gotcha.
Well, this is your list, though, and that's what the top 10
Well, that's
is all
right.
about.
And I would love to hear listeners, you know, like I said, I know you guys have your favorites, and I know, you know, everyone's got their own tastes and stuff, and there's plenty of backups I totally glossed over. I thought about the last one we talked about, that last Mighty Man Super Patriot backup, which is amazing. I forget the artist's name. That was in the last issue, but there's a ton out there, and I totally, picking 10 out of how many backups have been, you know, drawn. I
got 26 years of backups.
Yeah. So let me know, you know, yell at me, give it to me if I'm missing your favorite one, but I want to hear from you.
Yeah, give us your take. You know, if you got a whole list in you, cool. If you just want like one backup that like is burning in your mind,
you idiot! I can't believe you forgot this one. This is the best.
Put it out there.
Yeah, Savage FINcast at gmail.com.
That's what we want to hear. So cool.
Show
Thank
me
you.
Your passion.
And I'm again going to give you a little kudos, Craig, just because like me and Jim, we just went off the dome. Yours was highly researched, so.
Hey, I
wasn't
researched
that highly
mine.
researched. Yeah, Jim's
Did you?
was a little more.
Yeah. I checked to make sure all those deaths happened.
I just made my shit up. I just said my feelings. So.
Well, I'm just a tryhard.
So you guys did good, and I suppose I'll be up next. Unless, by the way, this is open to you listeners. If one of you wants to step up, contribute a top 10, we'll read it in full.
Or
the
top
entire
5,
top 10.
or top 3, or top
Right.
100.
No top 100, please. Sotiris Gravis.
Top 100.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Top 244 issues of Savage Dragon.
Hey guys.
Number 1, 244.
Hey guys.
What?
Should we get into it?
I think we should.
This is an issue
Oh boy,
of Savage
joy.
Dragon.
It's a great issue.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts about it.
Lay it on us, Big Daddy.
Well, we got to get to it first.
Oh, okay.
The thoughts will come later when events occur. So this was a pretty fun cover right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm getting his ass smashed into a Savage Dragon pinball machine.
By fandom's favorite fighting fowl.
The House of Power, Powerhouse. I love that Savage Dragon has leaned into the fact that Dragon is world famous. So of course there would be a Savage Dragon pinball.
And actually, that comes up further in this issue.
Yeah. World famous. So, and my God, okay, the cover is knockout, right? The cover is amazing. But how about even the damn title page here? Yeah.
I'll be honest, Eric showed this one without any lettering or bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
You could see more of Powerhouse's hand extended. I prefer it that way. I think covering it up was a mistake.
I don't know, man.
Not me.
Know.
I'm into
the
it.
Letters. Whew.
I'm super into it. I love an instant image comics classic. I love the team you can trust.
Another outstanding artistic achievement in contemporary pictorial literature.
Yes, exactly. I love it.
This is it, the big one.
This is where the ride ends. It's good, dude. It builds up so good. And that's a great fucking Powerhouse picture. Just the anatomy and the foreshortening and it's so good, dude. It's so good.
He's squatting.
He is fandom's favorite fighting fowl. Who's better?
I love him. French fry head.
The one from Family Guy.
Horse shit.
Might be more iconic.
Disagree.
In the culture.
Dude, I love produced by Eric, blah, blah, and then it's the team you can trust.
So good, dude. Yeah.
This is where the ride ends.
And then you get that amazing splash and then
yeah.
Boom! I want to just soak up some of these details, dude. The little crow coming down the steps, right under the dude's finger, pinky finger. So good. Like a werewolf in a cage.
A spider, some rats, skulls. This is a motorcycle or a moped.
Yeah, a moped with his muffler removed.
I love that this is a type of splash we haven't seen since the days of Jack Kirby, I feel like.
You're kidding, right? We get splashes like this every other month in Savage Dragon.
Yeah, but just the amount of monsters and shit like that.
You could even say it's some kind of monster society of evil.
Yeah, there's a little Dr. Savannah-ish kind of thing going on, right?
Yeah. Look at the stars. He's getting punched and there's stars.
Yeah.
I love the monster with the weird, Kirby eyes on all the way in the bottom corner.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some fish thing in an aquarium, something in a cage.
Well, that's what's so great is everywhere you look, there's some other little thing just creeping around or crawling. The little dude, look above the RAM, the WRA. Look, the little dude, just this little butt crack between the R and the A. He's clearly climbing the ceiling. That's just fantastic.
Kirby dots
everywhere.
Some
Kirby dots
snake that's underneath that purple guy's neck. What is that?
Something coming over that little wall. But even that guy, let's talk about that guy, his stitched up legs and kudos to Nikos, for the coloring on that dude. Going every little chunk of this guy has a different hue.
Right.
It's so good, man.
Yes.
It's fucking
This is
great.
a great, great splash.
Yep.
Eric needs to give this to me.
It screams poster. I mean, my God, dude. I would have this shit on my wall in a heartbeat. It's fantastic. Excellent. And then we get...
So, with our second page, we begin to notice a pattern.
Right.
This issue is another experimental issue.
Love it.
where every double page is not a double page spread, but is a horizontal comic layout for every double page.
Yeah, it's a full double page spread, basically, right?
Not
a splash, but
I'd call it a double page layout.
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of have almost like a, he does a lot of frames around panels to help draw your eye to where the sequence is.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like this took off from that issue he did where he gave tribute to Watterson with
Yeah.
the
Very
kids.
much so. Where that was
And so
every other double page.
Yeah, and so he's doing like the blue kind of panels and the circular panels or whatever, the colored panels, like in a way. Which is fun. It's really cool.
I love it. I love the look of this issue. I do also want to say for the sock debacle, we see clearly shoes taken off at the front door.
Yep.
So Walden,
Wait,
who
for
has-
the listener.
Oh yeah,
in here.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, context, absolutely. No more insider baseball. Listeners, last time we looked at an issue of Savage Dragon, we were very confused because we're morons that everyone seemed to
Because we're
be
morons.
wearing some kind of white medical sleeve around their foot. It turns out that those are shoes, and almost everyone in the entire planet but us apparently takes their shoes off.
No, it's ridiculous
they're not
because
shoes,
I
they're
take my
socks.
shoes off.
I mean,
I thought they were wearing booties because there was gore on the floor. Makes no sense to take your shoes off when there's gore on the floor.
if you want to keep your shoes nice.
I guess. Then
Shoes cost more than
Then the
socks.
blood's just going to soak through your socks.
You just take them off.
I'm just an idiot because my wife's Chinese and we take our shoes off and I wear socks in the house and I didn't pick up on it at all. So how stupid am I?
You're the worst.
Don't answer
Pretty stupid.
You're the worst of us all.
I would. It would have made perfect sense if there wasn't a dead monster in the room. Is all I'm saying.
I'm okay with it. I think
Like
it
it makes
fine.
sense right now. There's no
If there's
dead
a
monster
j-
around.
If there was a giant heap of monster cock guts all in the floor, I would want to not ruin my shoes, which cost more. I would rather ruin my socks, which cost less. I'll throw some socks away in a minute. You can't just go get new shoes. Just saying. But it's there. The visual clue is there. That's all I'm saying. So for the listeners, sorry, that's what we were talking about. But I think this exchange with Malcolm and Maxine is good.
Yep.
I like very much their back and forth.
Carrying on for where the last issue left off.
Yeah, we see that she was not super duper into what happened, but she also seems to swing hard fast when she sees Walden Wang. She's like, okay, real quick. So I think
And I guess
Maxine's...
Walden Wang's not too upset about his house getting destroyed.
Yeah, he seems pretty thrilled about it, really.
yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, you gotta imagine a guy like that's got insurance, right?
Yeah. He's got money. He's got houses. Don't worry about it.
Baby insurance.
Sure, you almost crushed my daughter to death, but yeah, it worked out.
I do think it's hilarious that he's green hair.
I love it.
I don't know.
Elf.
I love it. I think it's his whole unique look, like, and he really leans into it with his green jeans and his little green
His
vest.
pointy
Yeah.
ears.
So yeah, Walden's got an idea though. No more TV. He's going bigger than that. Pay per view. It's actually kind of a genius idea if you think about it, right?
Here we go.
Oh, I hear a
so-
hot take.
So what Walden's what Walden is introducing here is the idea of having like an ultimate fight between two superhumans
Right.
and to charge money for people to watch.
What's wrong with that? We literally pay money. I want to remind
do.
you.
We do.
literally pay money every month to watch superhumans fight. Avengers just made like billions, so keep
but
going.
Avengers is a movie. This is gonna.
I watch MMA.
He's presenting this more as an
MMA.
MMA fight. But here's the thing: when MMA fighters fight, they don't destroy the arena. See,
You'd expect more.
So we'll get to it in the end, but they make
Okay.
they make a critical mistake here, making this a prize fight.
All
Where they
right.
could have went in a separate direction and not have had the issues that they had.
I'm listening. I saw no issues, so I can't wait to hear your issues. That's interesting. Interesting. Dr. Savannah getting dropped off by Powerhouse at the...
Curses.
yeah. Dude, I don't
It's
know
cool.
why.
It's public domain.
I don't know why, but is he?
Oh yeah.
Wait, Savannah is public domain?
Like most of the Captain Marvel stuff is technically public domain. You can use them in your comics all you want. You just can't put them on the cover or call them by name.
I didn't know that.
That's why a certain other character turns up later.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Flash Mercury's line about PayPal changing their terms and conditions.
Yeah. You can appreciate that, I'm sure.
That's fucking hilarious. That is so funny. Like, it's not really like what the most jokiest joke, but for some reason, it's just him saying it that makes it hilarious. Super relatable.
Flash is still cool.
I like Flash.
Jumping out of his little speed racer car.
Right. It's good. And it's funny because if you look at what's happening here, like, Powerhouse and Flash, they're kind of like in the role of heroes, even though they're bounty hunters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
heroes. I mean, they're fighting bad guys.
yeah.
In this,
Dropping them off at the cops.
in this universe, Powerhouse wasn't a vicious circle goon for long before he got kidnapped by the gods. So he's not as bad as he used to be. At least I would say he wasn't.
I don't. He never really was either, though. Even in the old universe, he was very conflicted.
I mean, he isn't as overt about his like. I guess I'm an idiot. I forgot. He actually got recruited by Overlord at one point, didn't he? Or did he get run out of town? Man, my memory's bad. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, this is the stuff that drives listeners berserk anyway.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't lean into our poor memories for things. But yeah, I get you though. He generally was not, like you said, Craig, he was more morally gray.
Especially in the Savage world.
Yep.
Right.
But here he's just a straight up hero. I mean, yeah, they're doing it for the money, but I mean, come on. So does Malcolm.
He does.
Love this layout. Like, I know that, I'm sorry, like, we're going to keep talking about the layout, but like, the way the panels flow, the varying borders, like the circle panel with Walden, like, this shit is fucking money. Love it.
Yes. It's good stuff.
So
Walden's
spelling out his pay-per-view plans, where he's basically saying he's going to get into a fist fight with Malcolm, reality TV, and there's going to be a prize money for the victor.
Okay.
All right. So
is this where the problem is?
It is.
All right, lay it on me.
Because Powerhouse is morally gray. He's more likely to want it more for his own. Okay. And so when you have a fight where there's higher stakes because you've got superhumans who can basically, do whatever they want.
It's televised.
What I'm trying to get at is they should have went the wrestling route. They should have went kayfabe. They should have staged the fight, determined a winner in advance, and just split the money 50-50 regardless of winners and losers. Just sell it as a money fight.
You don't
think that he's got an ego and doesn't want to be beat by Malcolm?
Yeah. But if it's wrestling, it's fine as long as you're doing it for money.
Well, he might have an ego.
Then you have a second match. Then you have your rematch, your rubber match.
MMA fighters don't need that though.
But MMA fighters can't destroy the arena when they fight or kill bystanders by mistake.
All right, pump your brakes, Purcell.
Rip arms off each other, permanently kill each other.
Weren't they in an abandoned warehouse?
Yeah, bingo. And let me just say that previously we just established Walden Wang rolls to such a degree of success, his own home was obliterated.
Right.
His castle-like mansion was obliterated, and clearly he's unfazed.
What I'm getting at is the ego problem is exacerbated when you have superhuman abilities involved.
He's on TV. He's not going to ruin a payday.
I disagree.
If Powerhouse flips out and rips Malcolm's arms off and kills him, there's no subsequent fights or rematches. You can't have... Remember, they're in this gang. You got Powerhouse, Flash Mercury.
Right.
Please, guys, help me out. What's the chick's name? Venom?
Fever.
Fever. I'm tired of dodging it. It was just escaping my mind. You got Fever, Flash, and Powerhouse. All right. So Walden's coming at him with a business proposition, Jim.
Right.
And the thing is that clearly they're business minded. They're bounty hunters. They're in it for the money.
Right.
So
but you're going to have a blood fight, a blood sport as your
MMA
first match.
Fighters don't kill each other. I'm just saying, like, these people understand the concept of holding back for future paydays.
they talk about there's rules like before they fight. They said, we've gone over. You have your instructions, so there's some clear rules to it.
Yeah, and they know they're on TV. Like, this is pay-per-view. Like, if Powerhouse flips out and is like, fuck you, I'm the greatest, like, no more payday. Like, you can't collect the payday. If he kills Malcolm, Walden Wang's not going to give him money.
I just think going the wrestling route would have been a much smarter move. Because by making a clear winner takes all stipulation,
they're going to fight harder, and you're going to get a better show and get more
I don't know.
pay-per-view.
I think if it was a planned fight, a wrestling match, it would be both entertaining for the audience, entertaining for us, and a huge win for both. And then they could continue this out into the future, and they wouldn't have had the problems that this eventually develops into.
Yeah, but this is a comic book, and problems are fun.
And P.S., hold on, I'm about to stop you. P.S., this is why kayfabe doesn't work. Because in wrestling all the time, if you're a wrestling nerd, you hear about wrestlers having problems with the baked-in endings.
Yeah.
And they go against the baked-in endings, and then everybody's standing around, they don't know what the fuck to do because it's the middle of a pay-per-view, and this guy won't lay down and lose like he's supposed to in the
happen
script.
that much. That doesn't
That happens sometimes, though.
Yeah,
whereas if you have two guys really fighting for real, then it doesn't matter about the script finger quotes because the guy that wins. It's a lot easier. What you're describing involves a degree of cooperation that these guys aren't going to have.
Yeah.
I think it's also much harder to kind of write that into a comic. It takes more time, but I don't know. Whatever. Either way could work. I do like the last couple of panels on the page when like Flash is like, how do I get in this action? It's like, if it goes well, you can battle the victor in a later event.
Love it.
So that kind of leaves it open.
And I love the idea because it's funny sometimes, and they even go into the next sequence where they're talking about, look, we had to cut fights or whatever else, or pages are limited or whatever else. Sometimes in Savage Dragon, there's going to be a fight, but like it sometimes seems like the fight just comes out of nowhere, gets wrapped up real fast so they can get back to whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
If Malcolm's like fighting for money, well, there's your fight every month. And it can even build, like it can have a champion belt, like he can climb the ranks, like there's all kinds of, this is a great setup, is all I'm saying.
It's like, you skipped over my battle with the atomic eye. You skipped 4 months.
So this is a fun page, just
because
we're catching up with the creation of the Savage Dragon comic book in universe.
Right.
Apparently it's a horrible, horrible corporate comic in this universe.
Right.
Yeah. Creative teams that won't stay steady.
No Eric Larson.
Where is Eric Larson in all of this? What is he doing?
I love the nods, the meta nods. They're like, there wasn't even a caption that said later. And the guy's like, yeah, people hate later. They like visual clues. Like, your hair was longer and there was no snow. And I'm just like, that's great. That's fantastic.
You didn't have to show all the sex stuff. Issue 228 was gross.
Right. And then the reaction.
It's a mature book. The mail was very positive. Very positive.
And the little creepy smile. That's so good, dude. That's so funny.
The characters are very funny, too. They're so, like, comic booky. They got the guy with the giant nose and the guy with the giant forehead and little nose and, like, the Kirby-esque guy with, like, the bangs.
Yeah, and just the little dude's Batman shirt, because of course, he's a common guy. He's rocking that Batman shirt.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question for you Finn fans: are these recurring characters? Did they show up in the past?
No, they say specifically that these are the replacements for the last guys.
Oh, okay,
James Michael Worthington and Stan Levi.
Okay, I didn't think the artist was here. I didn't think this was like artist, writer, editor. But I guess that could be what's happening.
Dude, I know Stan Levi is Stan Lee, but who the hell is James Michael Worthington supposed to be?
I didn't know Stan Levi was, but obviously it is now, and I feel like a moron, but like, James Michael Worthington. Try to figure that one out.
Kind of sounds like the Angels, like, comic book real name. Warren Worthing II or something. I don't know.
I want to see the Atomic Eye. I'm mad that fight got skipped.
God damn it.
Yeah, I want to see every fight. Please don't cut those fights to the bone. But I'm saying, like, yeah, the Atomic Eye, oh, I hope he shows up later. I really do. Or even if it goes the other way, where he is only ever a running gag, and, like, you never see him, and he's only just referred to in words.
Yeah.
That would also be good, you know?
Who, the Atomic Eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we never see him, that's also just as good as if he shows up. He just gets this long off-page history with Malcolm, you know?
That would be funny. Like, he mentions him at like every 9 months or so.
Right.
Offhand.
Stupid Atomic Eye, just can't keep that guy down, you know? This is a great layout, though. You're talking about, like, layouts that go across page. This is something that definitely would only work, like, you know, with this issue, right?
Yep.
Which page are you talking about?
I'm talking about still yet the one where he's meeting with his creative team.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, this is kind of like an odd sort of a split. Like, you got, like,
With
you
a
know,
one panel that's cut right down the middle of the spine.
Yeah, it would have
Bingo.
to be.
Yep. And yet, the way he's positioned, like, words on one side, you know,
Heads on the other.
heads on the other, yeah, it still works.
I still think he's going to lose a lot in the gutter in the trade, which I dislike a lot. In fact, this entire issue is going to suffer, I think, in the trade.
You read digital, though. What do you care?
Yeah, exactly. I'm bragging. What do you think I'm talking about this for?
I'm joking. Well, good for you, damn it.
Although that is a great thing to bring up, though. Eric is very thoughtful on his layouts at times.
Yeah.
So he knows to keep the bubbles on either one side of the spine or the other, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On this whole issue.
For single issues, which I know is what his primary focus is, it's going to look great.
Jim's worried about the thickness of a trade
Right. No, I
eating
gotcha.
up more. Although I think, I mean, you know he knows that. Like, I'm just saying, you know he knows how to deal with that. Like, he gave enough. Like, if you, like, okay, we're looking at the next page, for example, ding ding is the thing that might get most swallowed up in the gutter.
Yep.
I mean, who gives a shit, you know what I mean? Like a lamp, ding ding, like all the important stuff's off to the sides. So I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Billy Batson.
Hey, Billy Batson. There's a
Billy.
secret Captain Marvel story running through this whole thing.
Yeah. There is, yeah. Absolutely. So I love his introduction. I love that they give it the context that they just have this abandoned warehouse just to fight, and that they're using drones to capture the action, which is awesome, you know.
They've got to stay within the confines of the building.
Yeah, they shake hands. Like, it's good, dude. It's so good. I think Captain Tootsie's pretty irresponsible, letting the kids watch.
Yeah, well, Maxine's worse.
I mean, their kids just saw a giant dick eat their youngest baby sister.
And that makes it okay? That makes it okay.
And
That makes it okay.
And I guess Thunderhead's okay.
Oh, shit. You're right. I forgot about that.
He seems to be by himself, though. I don't see May.
He looks a little bigger than usual.
Still wearing
Been working out.
Wearing his sweater vest.
He's been working out.
I initially thought that he might have been in a hospital bed, but if he's wearing a sweater vest in a hospital bed, it's just dedication.
He's really... Listen, dude, once May is Bay.
That might be a robe.
I don't know. It kind of looks like he's wearing a tie, but it's a little hard to tell.
I gotta agree
But he
with
does
Jim.
have that pillow behind him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The big pillow.
So why would
kind
he
of-
be wearing like a tie? So
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a
I
bit-
would like to think that's a hospital bed.
Yeah, me too. I think it is. But at the same time, I think he's wearing his sweater vest in the bed.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's better. Like, the idea, time has passed. And so I think the idea is that, like, he's better. He might be still in the hospital, but he's, like, bowed out, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to lay there in a damn gown.
Gotcha.
But then, boom, switch the page, and it's like, ooh.
Fights on.
That's so good, dude. Smile for the camera. And I love the shit talking. Like, so good.
Yeah, Powerhouse is just taking out his old frustrations with his dad.
Awesome.
Pecker breath.
And Malcolm, just falling back on the old cliches. You got to get better material, son.
What great though shit talking. You're no Savage Dragon. Because even we like kind of like struggle. Like we don't want to call him Savage Dragon. Like we call him Malcolm a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's great. You're like great. That's great shit talking. And it kind of like ties into the end too, the little thing. Like they kind of, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of like maybe I'm reading too much into it, but like it's almost like kind of like in this fight, like he's dealing with like a foe that was a real challenge for his dad, and then like the guy's like, oh, you're no Savage Dragon. But in the end, they're like, congratulations, Savage Malcolm the Savage Dragon, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like,
oh, you won the title.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but. Probably
I don't know though. If Powerhouse's little mask didn't get knocked off, I think he would have kicked Malcolm's ass pretty much.
Well, Malcolm cheated.
Look, I love the like when Powerhouse is like, "Don't pick a fight with a guy who can fly," and he's like, "Your old man chewed up his fair share of cement back in the day. He developed quite a taste for it, I'd imagine. And just like your old man, there isn't a damn thing you can do about it." And he's just like flying and just like pushing Malcolm's face into the ground.
So good, dude. So good. And, the Looney Tunes, of course you realize this means war.
Yeah. All right.
Perfect.
That's okay now. He's leaning into it.
Yeah. Of course this means war. It's so good. Love it. Then Malcolm busts out the juice.
I just love how he just drags his face through the dirt. That's a good move.
The shit talking though, saying that like his dad like developed a taste for pavement. It's so good. But
it is great. Like think about like we always talk about this, but Larson can just come up with new fight. 244 issues with fights, and can always come up with something new. Like we haven't seen a villain do that before.
No, exactly. Even like just the pose of like Malcolm shocking Powerhouse. Like that's great. Like
right.
It's just like fresh. Like all the Powerhouse drawings we've seen, and bam, and like even draw your attention to like the Skrull panel on that same layout.
Yeah.
Like just look at the body language on Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Where he's got like his little like
he's
one
just,
foot
like,
forward,
off guard, boom.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good. So good.
I love for the listeners, the page after Powerhouse drags Malcolm across the floor, where the page that he gets electrocuted on, those last 5 panels with the lettering, and every other letter is colored, like one's purple, one's blue, one's purple, one's blue.
Yes,
just great looking.
Yep.
Choom, Proc, Prud, Thoom, Pow, Ram, Thrack.
In the varying color.
Speed lines everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's so good, dude.
So, I'm surprised with how easy the mask pops off.
Was it easy? He's been kicking his ass for pages.
It just seems like even that, the number of dust-ups that Powerhouse gets into, it seems like just a really like easy vulnerability to exploit.
He just got shocked, and he wasn't expecting it.
I gotta imagine most times Powerhouse just mops the floor of people.
Yeah. He just got shocked. He wasn't expecting it. Like, clearly he's talking shit this whole time, and the minute he gets shocked, the fight turns. Like,
so
if you look...
You think the shock damaged the mask?
No,
I think it damaged his like ability to fight. Like he got shocked, and then you look at all the panels, and Malcolm's just basically rocking him.
Right.
Every panel after that is Malcolm blasting his face. Like every other panel. Like you look, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 panels in a row after the shock of him just getting like bam, and headshots too in a lot of those panels. That mask came off on accident. Malcolm didn't know what he was doing.
Who here was terrified he was about to die?
That would have been... That wouldn't have felt good, would it?
You didn't think Malcolm might have... When you saw the mask pop off, you weren't afraid that Malcolm was going to put his fist through his head?
I thought he was.
Yeah, I thought he was too. I thought he was going to accidentally
I was a little
kill him.
worried.
I was worried.
What the hell? Don't look at me.
Guys, the
Denny
90s,
got old. Denny got old too, man.
Denny is definitely aging. You can tell that he really doesn't want this as a known thing.
No.
Because now everybody knows what his vulnerability is.
Oh,
Oh,
We said nobody's supposed to know I can change back to a normal person.
And also, yeah, it kind of messes up your message when you're like a major like supporter of freak rights.
Right.
When you can just turn it off.
Yep. With a magical item too, a mask. Isn't Flash Mercury that same kind of way?
He is identical, yes.
Oh.
But it also looks like they know.
Yeah, they know. I love the 90s style rough border on the Brackabadoom.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Like that rough, like sketch, that's a very 90s-esque, but like, man, super effective on that explosion panel.
I like Malcolm. He's just like, ah!
What a hero.
Yeah. Nah.
Flash Mercury, what are you doing here? This. Thok. Caps him, grabs Denny, and runs.
They were friends for like 5 minutes long ago. Malcolm loves his car.
Yeah.
Malcolm the Savage Dragon. Yeah.
But they know his name's... even Fever knows his name's Denny, so she must be into it.
Yeah, she must be into it. Makes you wonder, does anybody get to put on that mask?
I think you gotta be the son of Ra.
Or a relative, whatever.
So then what's the significance
Descendant.
of the mask?
I think it's just
kind of like
weakness.
Thor's, kind of like Donald Blake and his cane or something.
Yeah.
Got it, yeah. So technically he could have a kid and pass it on.
I'm trying to remember for that backup. I think he gets the mask in the backup, but I can't remember the context of how he got it. Like how he found it.
I forget. I should know.
Yeah,
We'll get it. For the listener, we just had our socks rocked hard. That was just a fucking fantastic issue. I love the fights.
I did not expect that for this issue at all.
No.
Really?
Not at all, dude.
Nah, I thought there was going to be I thought it was going to be a totally different setting that they were going to meet.
with more pinball machines.
Yes.
Can I just say, for as weird a visual conglomeration of elements that Flash Mercury is, doesn't he still kind of look badass when he's like running towards Malcolm?
Yep. He is one of my favorites because
good,
he's such a doof.
It's good. It's so good. It's great. It's a great issue. It's fantastic. So yeah, man. And how about them backups?
Another Chris G. Crazy ass.
Yeah, it's like
comic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's basically a backup. It's like 6 whole pages of this parable about the follies of comic book creation. A lot of comic book commentary in this issue.
Yeah, I love these. I love when he does these, and it's kind of like a group of 3 strips that are interconnected, kind of, and they all have the same running gag. He's great at doing that.
There's a great meta in this, too, that ties into Billy Bats and Dr. Savannah showing up. When basically Optimus Prime shows up in the punchline, and then the next thing, he's like, the last comic you did with Robo Chief has caused an uproar. And he's like, why? I thought it was perfectly legal. It's just kind of funny and meta when you got Billy Batson and Dr. Savannah in the main, thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice little meta touch.
Yeah, it was a fun little comic. I like seeing G-Man webcomics show up. I enjoyed it.
The best punchline, I'm sorry though, there's a king. I'm going to crown a king among all these G-Men comics, is the one with Shapey. Where Shapey disses the kids. That shit is so... I fucking howled laughing where he's like, I sure do love to do the shapes. That's why they call me Shapey. And they're like, could you do a car? And then in the middle, he's like, car. I can't draw cars. And he's like, you'll figure something out. And Shapey tells the kids, he's like looking all shitty. My name's Shapey, not Car Man. It's great. That's the winner. That's the one.
It is.
It's the best one.
And on top of this, we got... Oh, go ahead, Jim.
Just going back to Powerhouse's origins, apparently it was hearing voices in his head that instructed him to dig up a box in the desert, and that contained the mask.
Gotcha.
A divine guidance.
Yep.
Still makes me feel like the mask has the power. Like anybody could put that mask
I think
on.
the mask is like his, what's the word, like...
Conduit?
Yeah, conduit. I don't think anyone can wear the mask. I think he has to wear the mask. Yeah.
We'll
Hard
see.
to say.
Time will tell.
I mean, here's the thing. This definitely looks like it's going places. Like, this isn't going to be the last time we see Powerhouse. Like, this defeat is probably going to, like, lead to something else.
It definitely can't be the last time we see Powerhouse.
Absolutely
No way.
not.
And on top of that, like this wrestling thing where he's the champion and stuff, I mean, you gotta assume it was a huge success. Not only did they have a successful fight,
Right.
but they had an unmasking, which was a surprise.
Ooh, what if Chainman's his next opponent?
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Is that the next issue, Chain Man?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, it says right here, next, the Chainman.
Yep.
We got some more funnies.
Time travel is amazing. That's the winner of these. Coolest guy on the beach.
Yes.
That's fantastic, dude.
The Moonbeard one, the dog like fetches his wand instead of a stick on accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is that? He gets zapped or something?
Yeah, he bites the magic wand and explodes.
Yeah, I assume.
Is that what that pink stuff is?
Yeah.
Explosion.
It's
Lightning
magic.
bolts. Yeah, they're like pink lightning bolts.
They could have set it up better. They could have been like a prequel comic to explain all the how the wand works and the colors that it produces.
Are you being facetious?
I am.
Well,
I like the my favorite one is the Savage FINcast strip there. It's pretty damn good.
Good punchline.
feels like something sexy's happening just off screen. Just off to the right of Malcolm, like behind him. It feels like something sexy's happening. You can't see, but it's there. Like behind Moonbeard, there's something really cool and sexy. If only, and we're not going to give clarity or context to that. We're just going to let you wonder, listener.
Guess what, Raven? There's something sexy happening right here, and you can't see it.
What?
I'm not telling you.
Oh,
You'll have to guess.
it's incredibly mysterious. I don't like it either. I don't like where my mind went, and I wish you would clarify.
Nope, not saying anything.
Oh, it's
Just gotta
horrendous.
think about it.
Well, let's close it on out by saying that Cobra...
Can you talk a little slower?
No, I don't like it. I don't like that at all.
A little sexier, please.
No.
Just keep saying that. Say that.
No. Savage Dragon 244 was fantastic, but we got a little more extra meat and potatoes for you.
Yep. Just
Because-
a little bit more Savage Dragon to talk about.
Yeah, in the form of TMNT 11.
So, we'll just be real quick about this issue. Although some fun stuff does happen in it.
I do want to say, can I just read the word balloon on the front cover?
Yes,
The
go
way
ahead.
the way I hear it in my mind.
Okay.
I hear it as, the host organism, Donatello, your brother, is dead.
Do it. That's a good Krang voice.
I don't know why. It's the extraneous your brother. Like, you know, like he wouldn't need to explain that it was their brother, but he did. But it's great. I love it. And that's not at all the way he talks in the issue. He just talks like a normal ass dude, but yeah, this was a
How
good
do you know?
issue. I mean, because he's using full words and sentences. He's like, no, I'm not. Like, enough that they don't realize that Donatello is dead. So, like, if he was acting that weird, you know? Because, like, on the cover, he's like, the host organism, Donatello, your brother is dead. But then inside the issue, he's talking, and they don't even realize he's, like, got a problem until he's like, no, I'm telling you, Donatello's dead. Like, I'm not Donatello. And so, like, he must be talking normal. As opposed to on the cover, where he's like, the host organism, Donatello, your brother is dead.
I will say, Savage Dragon fans that aren't picking up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends or didn't get the original Image TMNT when it came out in black and white, if they're jonesing for that extra issue of Savage Dragon this month or last month or whatever, like this is the issue to get. It's like having an extra issue of Savage Dragon.
Big time. Big time. When we talked about it for new listeners, like we talked about on the previous show, but I've never read this, and Craig and Jim both have. And so
I haven't.
You haven't?
I never read this.
What?
Not till now. No.
I thought he did.
I thought you did too.
No,
yeah.
I didn't read Ninja Turtle comics until Volume 4, which was after this.
We have a way to check this, and I swear there's recordings of you talking with Craig about having read this.
Nope. Never
Maybe
read
just
it.
knew about it.
Never, just aware because I pay attention.
Ooh, I think that was a little burn on you, Raven. You paying attention now?
I'm paying attention now.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I never read the Image Turtle series. I mean, I have a few issues because I found them in bins, but I never read them.
Yeah, my eyes are wide open, sucker. Well,
you're paying attention now, Raven.
Yeah, it's all new to me, and we got Hortus and Guy and Duder and Rapture, and man, this is an awesome
Vanguard.
Yes, dude. This was what I was wanting the whole time. When you guys were telling me, you're like, "Oh, it's great! It's like getting an extra issue of Savage Dragon."
Meanwhile, Jim never read it, and he was just telling you.
Just aware.
It's Carlson and Fosco doing an Image Turtles run with a bunch of connections to Dragon, so obviously it's going to be very similar. I think pretty sure Eric was the original Easy editor.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he's the boss. I mean, I don't know how much actual input he ever bothered to give it, but it was it was him. I don't know. I guess it was him doing Eastman and Laird a solid to keep Turtles around.
If there's a listener that can bring me a timestamp in a previous FINcast where Jim sounds like he is conveying information as though he has read these issues and was not simply aware of their editorial creation, then I will give you my Savage Dragon half that I just bought today.
Your what? Oh, Savage Dragon
he keeps calling it Wizard half. Mm-hmm. Which is weird to me.
Am I not aware?
Wouldn't you call that Wizard 1/2?
No, it just says half on the cover. It doesn't say 1.5. It says half.
When I say half, I say 1/2. It's 1 and 1/2. 2 and 1
half?
Potato.
Yeah, that's 6 of a dozen and half of another. It's the same thing. But I'm telling you, if someone can bring me a timestamp that proves I'm not crazy, that I haven't slipped into another universe still yet different from both the Berenstein and Berenstain universes. Because I swear, Jim, you were like, oh yeah. I swear you were like, oh yeah, these are great. Yeah, it's just like getting an extra Savage Dragon issue.
I'm sure I said that because I had been reading it, but I've only read 11 of the issues.
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're saying because you've been reading.
I would have read along with it and then come to the conclusion that
but this is way in the beginning. I feel like
the beginning.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well,
I feel like when we.
I mean, the whole reason when we started was that the Savage Dragon connection is the reason I wanted to cover this.
Gotcha.
I wanted to learn what the connection is through the natural progress of reading. Because I knew it was connected. Because it basically spun out of those crossover issues.
Find the timestamp. Help me, listeners. So this is a
let's
really
move on
great.
then.
Yeah. This is a really awesome issue, though. It really is super amazing. I love it. I love the coloring. Yeah. I love the coloring. I love Fosco's art here. I love the story.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, you love the coloring. I'm so glad. Like I said, I always say this every issue, but I remember everyone being like, "Oh, IDW coloring. I'm not sure." And every issue, I feel like they've done a bang up job.
Yeah,
It's definitely improved from like the first few.
100%. 100% agree.
I still think it might look better in black and white, but it's definitely workable. It's definitely good enough.
It looks good in black and white, but it looks good in color too.
Oh yeah, I just think that like this is really looking great. Like this issue especially.
Look at like this first page where like the TV is like the bright light on him, and so like the back of Hortus is dark, but you can still see like the spikes with like, you know, from the light kind of bouncing off of one side of him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just like no limit. Like,
Which
there's,
would have
like,
been shown in the black and white too, not to cut
Right,
off,
but you wouldn't have gotten the glow off the TV. It
Yeah.
would have been more. Yeah, good point.
Fosco can draw a good Hortus too.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is that like this Hortus and Michelangelo's scene is fantastic. Like
Yeah.
the way he wraps his tail. I mean, what am I talking about? The way she wraps her tail around Michelangelo and like just like goes in for that kiss. It's 10 out of 10. Like 10 out of 10. So good. So yeah, the action, like, I don't know. For me, this has been the most hype, the most dope Ninja Turtles issue as a Savage Dragon fan. Like, this has been the best one for me anyway.
Yeah, it's a good one. I love how Rapture comes in like in the middle of them like making out, and she's like, "What the hell?" And I love how their house is all beat up because if you remember, like Freak Force, they didn't really do too well. Like they were scrapping by, like as you know, bounty hunters.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. They live in a crappy part of Chicago, you know.
Mm-hmm. And like just like the way she's like shocking at his face, you know. Oh, it's just so good. So much good shit going on in that. So good, dude. Very pleased. Very pleased.
And even like the page after that, where he walks by the Freak Outpost, he's just kind of commenting on how Raphael's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Raph gets like minutes later, after Michelangelo walks by, Raph gets thrown out the window, and he's like loving it. He's like, poor Mikey's missing out on the great fight, but vicious circle or no vicious circle, I'm not leaving until I finish my lunch.
Don't forget, he's fighting like Powerhouse in there.
Yeah.
Guys, real quick, before we move on, I don't know why we keep saying the colors are so good, the color, like, we say shout outs, because he's responded to us several times on Twitter, so he's been listening, and thank you very much, Adam Gazowski, for, like, just your awesome work.
Yeah.
Like, to me, you have fucking killed this. So, excellent work, Adam, thank you. Like, killing it with this, so keep going, sorry. I just had to interrupt.
I agree. I mean, I was just going to comment too, like, the page after Raph gets knocked out the window, the page where it's like they're floating on the car and just the city lights and then like the ambulance lights with the red and blue dots on the bottom. It's just good stuff. Good stuff. I love all the glowing of the floating car headlights, and it's done really well because this comic was drawn to be black and white. I gotta imagine there's got to be some difficulty translating it back to color.
Right.
But he got it. I mean, he got the light pollution, like you said, like the tint of the glass over, like the turtle, like in the front of the flying car. Like, he got it. And so, yeah, like just, you know, I mean, he's responded to us a few times. I just want to make sure we said his name.
And, you know, the other thing, like, shout out to Frank Fosco for a lot of this comic is based at nighttime. And they're ninjas, and it makes sense, and it looks gorgeous in black and white. It looks good in color, too. And shout out to Frank and Gary for just putting that together and making up most of the scenes at night. It just really works really well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something you see a lot, you know, in comics. At least I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but
No, I agree. I agree. Totally agree. Because, I mean, when you put a black and white comic at night, and it's a lot harder, you got to lay down a lot more black. So, yeah, absolutely. But it's great.
We pick up where we left. It goes into where we left off last time with Dragon and Donatello confronting this, what's his name?
Call him Death
something.
Death Watch.
Death Watch.
Yes, Death Watch.
Who was in that Vanguard serial?
Yes, he was.
In my top 10 list. Callback.
Shoutouts.
Yep. So, yeah, he's getting revenge, but the guy that Death Watch, his body is original, appears to be, what's his name? God, I'm bad at this. Johnny Lee Rayburn. Apparently,
he's trying to take out the judge.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting revenge. He's just going around getting the people that sentenced him to death, killing them. But he wasn't banking on coming across a superior cyborg.
Yep.
Guys, the more I look through this issue, the more the colors are blowing me away on this issue. And the inks and just the drawings. Like, I'm going page by page and kind of looking ahead a little bit. And the pages are so dark, but they're so good.
Yeah, which is really hard to do. Colors, when you color digitally, they always look darker when they print anyway. Right. Always. And so not only are you, coloring a nighttime scene, but there's always that darker, everything just comes out darker. Nope. He's kicking ass on it.
I love that panel of dragons jumping through the air and shooting his gun.
Right. Yeah.
It's great.
Like a classic move.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's jumping into the flying car, yeah. I like the scene where Dragon and Donnie are shooting at this right next to each other, where they're going blam, 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 choom, choom, choom.
Mm-hmm. Donatello's morphing arm and morphing cyborg shit. I get that people are little bitches and get upset because things happen to characters they love.
Right.
But his cyborg shit is so awesome, especially in this issue. The way he makes it into a little respirator for the guy, or it's a giant hand cannon, it's just awesome. I think it's kind of funny because, he was always the technology Ninja Turtle. This just makes so much sense. So, yeah, it's great. I'm down with it. Yeah. Super down.
So the fight continues, and then Dragon falls off the car, and so he gets rescued by Wally.
Yep.
From Vanguard's little robot sidekick. Because now Vanguard's on the scene, because we learned last time that, what's her name?
Roxanne.
Roxanne, Vanguard's girlfriend, is the reporter here.
Roxanne! You gotta say it, I'm sorry. You gotta say it.
So everyone's here.
Yeah, the gang's all here. It's a very Savage Dragon-y issue. That's what's so fucking awesome.
Yeah, so while Donatello's trying to resuscitate the judge, Vanguard busts in, sees a villainous cyborg, and immediately attacks Donnie.
That was great. I like that.
And so they get into a punch up, and until Roxanne tells them to knock it off, and then Dragon yanks them apart. So again, yeah, the colors here are pretty good. Vanguard is super blue. Just the way he's supposed to be.
Yep.
Of course, he looks great because he's basically Fosco's character.
I wouldn't say that, but he's... Would you say... Well, because of so many issues he's drawn
He's done so much Vanguard at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because, his dragon looks fine, but I always found him a little boxy.
Yeah.
I guess.
But we're so used to Fosco drawing Vanguard that it's
right. Yeah, that's kind of what he's supposed to look like.
I get you. I see where you're coming from.
What else is going on here? Oh yeah, we discover looks like Donatello's bio body died.
Mind death is kind of what the cyborg says. His mind couldn't handle it. And it's like, well, really, though?
I guess it's just the armor with all of Donnie's memories. Which I guess begs the question, isn't that just Donnie?
I like how cavalier everyone is, though. Like, Dragon's like, your buddy needs his computer rebooted. And it's like, like, he might be dead, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leo hops in and says, Donnie, how many fingers am I holding up? And Donnie says, your brother doesn't have a concussion. He's dead. Man, that sucks.
That's what I meant about the voice. Like, he's just like talking like Donatello. So
he's talking through his meat.
Right.
Parts.
He's not like, the entity you know as Donatello is dead. It's not like that. So.
Exterminate.
Yeah, and then, they wrap up with the little newscast where it's kind of funny, like we mentioned it last time, but it's a great little nod where, they're like, thanks for keeping us out of the news, Roxanne. And she's like, sorry, guys, in Chicago, you're not news. And so it's just kind of another nice little touch to drive this home.
Yeah.
I like how they leave the air car with Dragon temporarily because Raphael's still missing. So he'll need a ride home.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, apparently he's still fighting with the freaks. I wonder if that'll be followed up in issue 12. I haven't read it yet.
Excited, dudes. Excited. And then the final issue, you get to see some shit going down with Casey.
Yep, stuff's still going on with Casey. People are trying to get at they're trying to get at his daughter again.
Baby Jones.
Yep. But then the people who are keeping an eye on him, they get ambushed by ninja stars. Who could that possibly be?
I mean, it's a Foot Clan, right?
Yes, obviously.
The Hand Clan.
Yeah,
yep.
It's the Hand.
The Hand.
You know that's why they're called the Foot, right, Craig?
I kind of figured that.
Okay, just checking.
Turtles was a Daredevil parody. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
A lot of Frank Miller.
So that's a pretty sweet cover on next month's issue. I like this scarecrow in a cornfield. But he's not a scarecrow. He's a corpse. And so, I don't know. It's cool. Like I said, looks good. Looks really great.
So I'm not sure how much more crossover there is past this point. Because I believe the series goes for about 24 issues. Or something like that.
Oh.
So there's only about another year's worth before they get to the end.
There's definitely more Hortus, maybe more Vanguard.
Okay.
But
you saying we're going to dial it back?
No, we're going to keep reviewing it. I just don't know how much more Dragon content specifically will be popping up.
Aw.
This is probably the most Dragon-centric, but I definitely remember Hortus. She definitely appears in the later issues.
Good to know.
Cool, because somebody had said something, one of you, I think Craig, had said that the Hortus-Michelangelo relationship was kind of an interesting thing. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, this can't be it. Like, they just kissed. Like,
yeah, no, it's not it. There's more.
Yeah, for sure. So
she's definitely on another cover. I know that for a fact.
Oh, that's good.
I can't remember. I'd have to go back through my issues, but I can't remember how many more she's in. But this is not the last.
Cool. I'm excited. Any more, like, however much more, like, larceny this stuff is, I'll be super fucking psyched. So, and I'm kind of, to be honest, getting dragged into the narrative. Like, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super into what was happening. The whole Komodo dragon, like, start to this did not grab me by the tits, but my tits are fully grabbed now. And so I'm into it. And I'm curious where they're going to go with whole Splinter as a bat, Donatello is a dead cyborg, like, Raph is the leader of the Foot. Like, I'm getting into it big time. So, yeah, it's cool. I'm down with it.
I don't think Raph's leader of the Foot yet. I think that's coming. Because that's definitely something that happens. I recall that much.
Yeah, it's a great cover with him with Casey Jones' mask on.
Yeah.
Leading the ninjas.
Mm-hmm. So we'll definitely be getting to that next time. So, how long we got? We've been going for about 2 hours. I'll be honest. I need to get to bed. So let's wrap this up.
Okay.
So, take us home, Raven. Let us know what happens next.
Savage Dragon 245, The Chained Man. This standalone issue introduces a new menace to Malcolm Dragon and the city of Toronto. A relic from the dim past is unearthed, and the Chained Man is unleashed. And that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool sounding.
Yeah.
Sounds like he may be from the far past, locked away. Not a fetishist.
Not a vicious circleist.
Visual circleist.
Visual.
But
Yes.
that sounds really neat.
Yeah, our apologies. We were asked by a listener to give Avengers Endgame impressions. Just this issue ran a bit long, so hey, don't worry. There's always going to be a short episode. We'll give you our takes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get it. Them takes ain't going nowhere, so we'll get you.
Yeah.
But awesome issue. Thank you, fellas.
Good chatting with you.
Yeah, so as always, if you want to contact us, you can email us at savagefincast@gmail.com. Leave a message on any of our episodes at savagefincast.com. And, of course, find us on the Facebook, hanging out on the Savage Dragon fan group and the Eric Larson Savage Dragon other fan group. You got to find a better way to phrase that. The official Savage Dragon group that Eric runs, and the unofficial fan group that you run, right, Raven?
Well, it's kind of official in a way because Eric is a moderator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's two
whatever.
places.
Don't
yeah,
matter.
we're around. We're easy to find. We're also on the Twitter. I think we got a Savage FINcast Twitter. I imagine one of you is operating.
That's right.
I'm Craig Olsen. You're the one doing it.
All right, so yeah, we'll be back again next time. I don't think we have anything particularly special lined up except next issue between then and now. So we'll see you then.
Thanks, everybody.
Laters.